All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Nancy Rebecca. I'm a retired nurse, but I'm a very active psychic clairvoyant. And the big deal it's happening is the light, which I've been calling the tsunami of light, but the flood of light really started coming in at the beginning of the week. If I was really specific, it was Tuesday is when I really started noticing that everyone around me was kind of popping into this blue frequency. I am seeing blue everywhere. And so I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me. I do have my microphone on. Wow, there's so many of you this morning, and you're so excited. And I'm very excited too. We're going to do something a little different today. So you may or may not see the title, Ask Me Anything Day. So as I was sitting and preparing to talk about this week's frequency forecast, which I know I will still be doing throughout the Ask Me Anything, it was like, there is so much information out there right now. I mean, you all are flooded with information. And it's exciting. We are having this wave of blue. The blue light frequency has been coming through since the beginning of time in smaller amounts. But during this time that we are shifting in consciousness, that we are awakening to our own divinity, where we are expanding in beginning to really realize that it's not just you alone struggling and feeling challenged every day, but that there's just a whole community of us. There are just uh, many in humanity that are really rising up in frequency, and it's hard to see that when we can just hear all the bluster and the noise, or the come on, let's go play nice. No, I don't want to play nice. Whatever it is, whether that's playing out personally in your own family or your own life, because you are the microcosm that's expressing the macrocosm, or the macrocosm that's expressing the microcosm. So there should be no surprises here, because we're all purging what is being played out on the national stage. But there's so many light bodies that are really showing up right now. It's very exciting. And then I'm super excited because we're going to have the spring equinox, and it isn't just one portal that's opening. And because I was meditating on this and I wanted to see this expansiveness of light, but it was like almost like if you just saw a lot of orbs. I guess that's what I would call it, like a lot of orbs. Like I'm looking out there, and they're small and medium and large, but in the equinox, it's really going to expand. And then we have this photonic light that's coming in. The peak of it's going to be March 29th. It's happening already. We're already getting these waves, and you can all experience it in different ways. And so that's why I wanted to open it up today, and it's called Ask Me Anything Day. So why do I call it that, and why am I offering this? Well, I do this every month with my students, Ask Me Anything Day. And the reason why is because 30 years ago, when I had my out-of-body experience, and then I became suddenly clairvoyantly sighted, that never went away. I could see auras and chakras, but I didn't know what they were. I was afraid to ask anybody because I was afraid I'd have to go to a mental hospital. And then when I did find somebody to ask, I was thinking about this morning, and they said, "Oh, that's an aura." And I'm like, and I didn't want to sound dumb, so I didn't ask what an aura was. It was like, because they said it so casually, like I should know what an aura is. But I had a lot of questions. Like I could see angels, I could see guides, I could see your loved ones. I can see light codes. And so I wanted somebody who could maybe talk about that a little bit. So, how we're going to do this today, we are still going to do a meditation at the end of our time together. But how I'm going to do this is because many of you will have a question. So, it's not personal readings. It's not that kind of question. It's questions of trying to understand the universe, trying to understand maybe experiences that you're having, maybe trying to understand this quantum flood of light that's coming in. I don't know. You will come up with better questions than I can right now. So how it's going to happen is there are the comments that I can see, and as you are asking them, the screen scrolls. So I'm going to let spirit guide my eyes to land on the right question. And then I'm going to let it keep scrolling until my eyes land on the next question and the next question. That's the best that I can do right now. I won't be able to answer them all, but I've set my intention that whatever question you ask is for the benefit of all. So whether you're watching this live now, welcome everybody for organizing your time. I'm excited about that you could be live. But even if you're watching the replay 5 years from now, you're going to find the answers and questions quite interesting. So I think we'll go ahead and get started. So if anybody has something that they're curious about, that you think about, and don't worry about what you think anybody else is going to think about you asking a question. So Darcy Turner said that I was really hoping that you were going to talk about the flash of light. So what I will say is that the last several weeks, I really talked about this significant, it's beyond significant time that we're in. And the light that's coming in is just, it's such a bright light. It's so flooded with light that it's almost like you wouldn't be able to see the room, that you're in. You wouldn't be able to see someone standing across from you. But my sense is when this light comes in, you might not even notice it. It'll be, when it comes in, some of you may notice it. I'm already noticing it now. But when this light comes in, your DNA gets activated, so it's like, your DNA isn't changing. You're going to have the same DNA that you have now. It's just that some of the DNA you do not have access to, because I was thinking about this the other day. I heard this, you can't handle the truth, right? Okay. So I keep hearing this. You can't handle the truth. Humanity can't handle the truth. Why can humanity not handle the truth? Because we're not ready for it. And this light is going to get us ready. So it's like those doorways will open up and we have access to information within ourselves that we didn't have before. So the flash of light, yes, the flash of light is illuminating now. And then on around March 29th, that flash of light will really come in and activate and awaken the DNA within each and every person at different levels. So maybe one person will get like 5 little activations and some people might get 100 activations. So, all right, let me just see. Question. Thank you, Judy, for putting question there. Will healing modalities such as medbeds become available to the public this year? So I don't know what a medbed is, but I am going to talk about healing modalities. So I'm particularly excited about this because working as an intensive care nurse and a hospice nurse, I am a nurse at heart. We have the potential to heal rapidly. I worked with one woman that had cancer throughout her body. I moved one little symbol and she was on hospice and all the cancer disappeared. Why am I telling you that story? Because I want you to know it's possible. But even as a nurse for me, I was like, this is not possible. This just did not happen. When she brought me the results of the CAT scan, when her doctor called me, I'm like, this isn't possible. Her cancer did come back a few years later. I worked for 30 years. I never had cancer just disappear like that ever again. But it's possible. So yes, we are, whatever med beds are, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to get that because I'm going to keep going to the questions. You're going to see so many things happening in the medical field in the next 3 years, and our capacity to self-heal just with not even intention. It's like when those DNA, when it opens up, it's like we have access more to our body's responses to illness. So first of all, that's going to be happening more often. So I'll just have to keep going here. Hello from South Africa. Sandra is saying her body awareness. Thank you for describing that, Sandra. The body is just space. It's peaceful. And it is very loving. And there is this light, almost like I can see through people. It's, yeah, we're becoming these light bodies. I don't know if the video is buffering. Okay, Renee, I feel the current energies are showing us what doesn't align for our highest good in plain sight, almost like it's being served up on a large plate right in front of us. I totally agree with you. Question from Biohacking. Question, I have created a menopause program to help women manage their symptoms with a holistic approach. Beautiful. The program had the ability to help thousands, but I feel like there is an energy block. So what I'm picking up, although I'm not going to be reading people personally, so I'm not going to be reading your businesses personally or anything like that, because you're asking me to tell you is there a block there and what's the block? I am getting that yes, you are the block. The block isn't coming from the outside of you, but there is a block inside of you. And this has the potential. So keep your intention going to really shift during this really incredible light upliftment, because what's coming up is mental energy, and in the head, there's a lot in the head that's blocking. And so, and you may be redeveloping the program. So are etheric implants real? A friend feels it could be affecting sleep patterns. Etheric implants. Oh, you guys are asking really great questions. I have no friggin' idea what that is. But what I will say, so etheric, for those who do not, etheric is light, etheric is energy. Can you be implanted with energy things? Yes. You can, just like in past lives, I can look at somebody's field and you can see where there's a knife that you were stabbed with in a past life. So it's come through into this lifetime with you. So it's in the etheric field. And then I would need to pull that knife out of the etheric field and then repair the etheric field. So yes, we can get implants. I'm not quite sure what kind of implants that you're talking about. I don't know if you're talking about like other dimensional being implants, but our sleep patterns are being affected. I was up at 2:30 yesterday, wide awake. What's the first thing I did? I'm going to tell you this so that you do it. I asked my spirit, why is it that you wish for me to wake up right now? And the answer I heard back is, we need you to get up and meditate. So go ahead, get the candles lit, get ready. I know it's 2:30 in the morning, but my spirit said, the light's coming in and we need you to get up and start running your energy. So sleep patterns are being affected. The dream world's being affected. So Jennifer's asking how Ozempic affects the energy field of the body. So we already, of course, know, I don't know a lot about Ozempic, but as a nurse, I know that it affects our, kind of our craving centers, that it kind of shuts down that center so that you're not hungry. Okay. But when it's looking at the energy field of somebody who's on Ozempic, which if you don't know what Ozempic is, it's the weight loss medication. So you have your auric field, this bright auric field, and I'm just asking to see the average person before Ozempic and while on Ozempic and off Ozempic. So when before Ozempic and you're trying to decide that you want to take out this weight loss medication, that there's a lot of energy in the field. I could see the field is bright for someone. It's very bright. I can feel that they want to feel better, or whether it's also for diabetes, it helps get and manage, your diabetes symptoms, but the aura can be quite bright. And then on Ozempic, there's a lot of cloudiness around the top of the head that comes down to about the shoulders, but I can still see a muted brightness in the auric field, but it's not as bright as before. And then afterwards, what I'm seeing is that the auric field can be kind of a little bit depleted, shrunk in, but it looks like eventually you get on the other side of it and it gets bright again. Psychedelics, it really, we're just going to say medically, what they do know is it just opens up those centers in the brain so that you can see what's already there. Okay. So, whether it's LSD, whether it's ayahuasca, whether it's cactus, plant medicine, you can tell I know a lot about this, but any of it helps kind of unlock your brain and your entire system so that you can see in the energy world, the spirit world, what is already there. And so how does it affect the body? So it can really, okay, let's say before, during, and after. So before, you've got this beautiful soul with a beautiful aura. It looks like, just the average, they've got a flattened top of the aura. They're disconnected from spirit. So what I can see is you've got this flat part here, your crown chakra's here. And then so people who do psychedelics, they want to connect with God, right? They want to connect with the divine. It's less about trying to understand, because you're not going to understand it. You just know it when you're on these plant medicines. And then it looks like that's exactly what happens. It helps reconnect you with the crown chakra. And then it looks like afterwards you stay connected to the crown chakra. So it looks like depending on what it is, it could have healthy benefits. Hello from France. So Magdalene is asking, is Poland going to be safe to travel in July? So so you're still asking me to read. So I'm going to try to keep getting through this, reading about things. But what I can see is that, yeah, it's kind of scary what's going on right now. I'm going to give you that. But if I look at the light of it, this is how I want to teach you all how to do it. So I take an image of a rose. That's what I work with. There's a lot of people that do spiritual work that work with roses, or they'll work with purple flames or green flames, or they'll work with the lotus flower or different things like that. And so this is what I want you to do, Magdalena, is I want you to ask that question Is it going to be safe for me to travel to Poland in July? Put that question into a rose, and it's either going to blossom or it's going to close. So I call that the yes no rose. Now, I'm going to teach you that, but there's a lot of answers in between. So you might get a clear yes, but it's going to come with an intuitive, full body feeling with it. So if the rose blossoms and then you feel this upliftment and you think, oh, that feels pretty good, you're going to make decisions around that. Or it's going to close down and your auric field will also contract. It doesn't mean the answer is no, but it may mean that you need to put things into place to help those safety plans. So yes, so anybody that has questions like that, you can go ahead and use the rose technique. So Belinda wants to know about talking to people. Why do I seem to be able to talk to people who've passed, and what does it mean? Well, if you've been able to talk to dead people, then that means that you are a medium. It doesn't mean you have to be a professional medium. So a medium means in the middle. So I have my grandfather here who's passed 50 years ago. I have me here. You're the medium. You're in the middle. Okay. So now you're talking to my grandfather and you're passing that information on to me. So that just means that you are wired. I call it wired for sound, where you are wired that way. Now, let's say 50 years ago, only a few people were really able to do this because the energy on the planet was so dense. But right now, you all are waking up and your consciousness is expanding and your DNA is getting activated. And suddenly, I see spirits. Suddenly, oh my gosh, I could talk to my grandmother. Like, this stuff is going to be happening for everyone. And so what does it mean that you can see them? It means that, are you gifted? Well, I will say yes, but what I will say more so is you're just wired to be a medium. Not everybody's wired. I'm not wired to be a medium. Can I still function as a medium? I can, but I have students that are just, it's just easy for them. For me, it was not easy, but yes, we will all be able to do this. And so Yolanda wants to know, how can I communicate with my two deceased sons and see them? They passed at 20 and 43 years old. I want to be able to see what you see. Yes, and no, you don't. Because I don't tell you all about everything I see, but I do. So Yolanda, what I'm going to say is, if you are a seer, you are going to see them. If you're not a seer, you're not going to see them. And your sons can be standing right next to you, and they can be infusing your shoulder with their energy. They can be putting their arms around you. They can be like just sending you so much love, which they are. And then you say, you're looking around, I can't see them. I can't see them, but they're right there. So I want you to go more for the feeling. So when my best friend died at 32 of pancreatic cancer, what I did was I was sitting outside and I was talking to her. I was pretending like she could hear me. This was early on, before I had my experiences. And what I did was I just held my arms out straight, like, like this. I was sitting outside and I said, Marla, if you're really there, could you touch my hands? And I was scared, but I felt her hands come over the top of my hands and infuse into my hands, and they got warm. Did it freak me out a little bit? Yes. But that's how I was able to communicate with her. I couldn't see her. Even though I can see, I don't see everything. So, yeah, I'm so sorry that you've had two sons But I will say, even though I'm not reading, your younger son is standing right next to you and is coming through really strongly and has been trying to get your attention. So, okay, awesome. Hello, hugs from Kingston. Okay, Elaine, I don't even know what your question is. So, but you wrote in big capital letters, so you got my attention. I have very strange dreams lately. They do not make any sense. They should be frightening, but they are just weird. When I wake up, I don't remember. When I wake, I don't remember, but say, what? Like, what was that? So, first of all, a dream, I want everyone to know a dream is not a dream. A dream is real. Okay? And what do I mean by that? So, we all have a physical body. And when we climb into bed and our body is really, really tired, our body needs to shut down and go into detox mode. So it's like a swimming pool. It's cloudy. You back flush. It's called back flushing the pool so that you can strain and get all the cloudiness out of it so it's crystal clear and bright again. So when your body goes to sleep, there's a signal to your entire body. It's time to back flush. It's time to get all the toxins out of the body. Elaine is asleep. Let's get started. All systems go in the body. So your body takes you into a really deep sleep while it's detoxing. All right. But your spirit goes in your astral body. It leaves your body. It goes through however many dimensions it needs to go through so it can go into the dream world. And then it gets up there and your spirit's like, oh my gosh, did you see what my human counterpart did today? Did you see that fight that they had with their best friend? Oh my gosh, I kept trying to get their attention and they were just screaming and yelling and throwing things across the room. It was intense. So that's what's going to happen up in the higher dimension because your spirit needs a break from you throwing things across the room. Does that make sense? All right. So then your spirit is having lots of its own experiences up there. And right now, as this blue flood of light, this tsunami wave of light is coming, the astral planes are also being detoxed. They're being cleared. Any of the junk's being cleared. They're all elevating to another frequency at the same time that Earth is elevating. So, Elaine, I'm not surprised that you're having some really weird dreams. But I will say the more toxins you're clearing out of your body, the more wacky dreams you're going to have. So drink your water, eat healthy, get a good night's sleep, get out in nature, meditate. So awesome. Will all the crazy Trump show end? Okay. So okay, I'm just going to write down marks. Okay. So, okay. I'm not sure how to answer this. Yeah, it'll end. It's probably not going to end as quickly as you want it to, but it will end because everything in life comes in cycles. You know this. So, peonies and roses, you've had things happen in your life. And at the time they were happening, you were like, oh my gosh, when is this going to be over? When is this going to be done? You know, it's like, and then when it's done, it's almost like you forget that it ever happened. Now, the powers that be, I really try to stay out of the political bit, but I will be honest with everybody. I do ask the powers that be. So I just got the answer from Spirit. So in the Akashic records, so I just want to let everybody know this. So the Akashic records exist in another dimension. And the Akashic records hold all the records for everything that has ever happened. Everything that's happening now is being recorded and stored. And then whatever has the potential to happen they have records of that. So there's all of that. Not everybody can get into the akashic records because you want to be in a frequency that you can stay in the akashic records, and there's no time or space in the akashic records. So you can go and you think that you've been in the akashic records for 30 minutes or an hour, and you come back and realize I was only there for 5 minutes. So that's how much can happen up in the akashic records. There is a room in you, and you each and every one of you have your own personal room in the akashic records. So you can, so like, for example, I say, oh my gosh, I need to write a book, and I keep putting it off. And, I go up to the akashic records to ask the question about this book, and I get the answer from the assistant who's helping me in the akashic, my room. Well, look right here on the shelf. You've got 5 books published. So whether you do it when you're 20, 30, 40, 50, or 90, you will be writing 5 books in your lifetime. So whenever you do it is up to you. All right. So you each have a room like this. Okay. Now, it's called a world room up in the Akashic Records, and it is huge. And there are so many cool people hanging out there. So I remember once I just had a little fangirl thing going on when I ran into Albert Einstein. So up in the Akashic Records, it's called the World Room. You've got greatest minds, you have star beings, it is packed. And in the middle of this room is images of Earth. So I imagine they could hit a panel and look at different places in the universe. But when I go up there, they're looking at the Earth. They're all looking down in the Earth, and they see things that are playing out. And some things need to play out. Some things they can't interfere with, and some things they can influence. So it can be exciting when you can go there in your imagination, in your mind, and pretend. And if you can't do all that, maybe you draw some comfort that we're not just at the whim of our political leaders. Okay. So we are being watched for. And it is of my belief that we all have aspects of Trump as a part of us. And as we heal that will also help this cycle finish up faster. Okay. Junk DNA, our so-called junk DNA gets activated. So it used to be called, Mark, it used to be called junk DNA back in the 70s because they didn't have the science. It's like, I don't know what that is, so you're junk. I don't know what your appendix is, so I'm going to cut it out. I don't know what this is, so you must not need it. Like, that's so narrow-minded of our science. But since then, we've learned a lot about DNA, and we're finding out that junk DNA. We used to think that DNA was brown eyes, blue eyes, period. Short, tall, could eat anything and never gain weight, or just even look at a potato chip and gain 100 pounds. Like, that's what they thought DNA was in their limited thinking. But what they're finding, the junk DNA is connected to epigenetics, all of your ancestors. Oh, and by the way, your ancestors are raising in frequency. So whatever trauma they were holding on to, all that trauma is dissolving too with this enormous light that's coming in. And I just want to emphasize, it isn't like one and done. We have years ahead of us to integrate this. So I just want you to know, it's not like you're just going to wake up and life's going to be good. We're not over with that yet. We still have a lot of crap to go through. But the junk DNA, they're starting to find, Mark, that, wow, that's some potent stuff. And so the junk DNA, that's what's popping open. Okay, let's see. Okay, how does light affect the body? Cold chills lately. So That's a great question. Who did I just lose? How does it see? I've already lost it. Jennifer. So when we rise in frequency, it would be like you've got two suitcases full of heavy, heavy weights. And it's like you grab hold of the handles and you go to rise up and stand up, and you can't lift that off the ground. So you're illuminated with a lot of light. You're excited about this trip you're going to take. You're excited about all the things you're going to learn. You're going to visit ancient sites or whatever. You go to pick up those bags and you can't lift them off the ground. So what happens is those bags start to dissolve in the higher light. And then you can get chills. You get those goosebumps. You get chills. Or like when someone says something to you and you're like, oh, I just had this huge wave of goosebumps. And I know that means that what you're saying is the truth, or I can relate to it. You've just dropped one of the bags. You're not willing to carry it forward anymore. So you can have a full body release. Yeah, if a ghost is in the room, you can feel chills too, but it's different, isn't it? It's different than those waves of like, this is friggin' awesome vibes. Okay. Is there a particular dragon? I love that, Tehran. Or tyrant, I'm not sure how you say it. Is there a particular dragon, like a galactic type, associated with the blue light beings? No, there's not a particular dragon. I would say there's about 120 different kind of species, etheric species of dragons. So it can be very small, it can be very large. And for those of you who are not sure about dragons, I just want to let you know they're real. They exist in the etheric field. And yes, I can see them. And more of you out there have dragons as guides than you may realize. And so if that makes you a little wiggly, then I just suggest you go do a search on dragons and look them up. They're super cool. I've got this great little story, and I'm going to try to, oh my, we're running out of time. All right, I won't tell the story, but in the story, someone was very, very, very sick. She came to see me, and I saw that she had a stuck dragon in her aura. And it turned out that she had gone to France, and she went into the Dragon Mountain, and she went to try to save a dragon. You can't make this stuff up. So she could relate to the fact that she had a trapped dragon in her aura. Okay, we're going to do a meditation. Oh, we're going to have to do this more often. Question, Allison, will you go out to view the moon during the eclipse? Some astrologers say no. Great question. That's a great question. I don't know if anybody has the answer to that. I don't know that it's like a solar eclipse. I would have gone to look at the moon, I have to tell you. Elaine, will you have in-person groups this year? No, but I am planning next May for a conference. So Lisa's writing a film. She's being awakened a lot, tons of creativity. Just go with it. You can take a nap during the day, but when these surges are coming through, you are going to wake up and yes, and just keep that creative energy flowing, but still build in time for rest for your body. Okay, I'm just going to look for one more. Questions from Chris. We are told we volunteered to be here to help raise the vibration of ourselves and the galaxy, and yet we struggle to even figure out our purpose. Why the confusion for so many of us? Okay, so first of all, does everybody want to know what your purpose is? Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has number one purpose. All 7.5 billion people have a purpose. All the trees have a purpose. All the animals have a purpose. Your one single purpose, are you ready for it, is to anchor the light into the earth. That's your purpose. So if you happen to be a medium or you're a healer, those are all bonuses. But if you're a healer or a medium or a psychic and you can't ground, you're not doing your purpose. Does that make sense? Okay. And yes, I've been doing readings for 30 years and I've done over 30,000 readings. And no matter how limited my mind might think, every one of you souls that would come in for a reading, your soul showed me just how incredibly dynamic you are. So I might look at you on the street and not even notice you. And you would come into my office and I would say, holy smokes, who are you? We have Lemurians, we have Atlanteans that come in and reveal themselves, and all they want to know is, um, I'm having trouble getting pregnant. Now that's a big deal. Or should I change jobs? Are you getting what I'm saying? And it's like, but you're a Lemurian. And they'll go, huh? What? What is that anyway? You've been here before. And it's like, oh, I've had dreams like that, but should I take this job? So I'm just telling you all, you're all here for a purpose, to ground the light. And I have free grounding meditations on my website under shop. The other thing I'm going to say again, the spring equinox that's coming up on the 22nd. So I'm going to host that on a Saturday. It is a not to be missed event because we are going to be really shifting energy for, it's a 2.5 hour event, but we're really going to shift energy. And then if you want to add both events on the 29th, we're doing another event where I'm going to be guiding you to ease through and get your DNA activated. Aw, thanks, Angelica. All right. Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun talking to you all. Okay, I just have to read this last one from Australia. Kim, I feel different possibilities and timelines. Yes, that's happening right now as we speak. I'm attracted to moving to the top end to work with the Aboriginal people and learn more about their culture. Also astrology. Beautiful, beautiful. So you're thinking about, let's flip that switch. I want you to say, I'm thinking about, to I'm being called. I'm being called. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh my gosh. Let's do a meditation. So we're going to do a meditation and we're going to just bring some of the blue light plasma. It's already here. We're going to be bringing it through our body. So in this meditation, so to meditate means to self-reflect. But as I'm looking out there is all I can see when I'm looking out in the YouTube land, and I'm looking out for those who haven't even watched the replay yet. It doesn't matter. I'm seeing blue light that's coming down to about the diaphragm. What I'm seeing is it's getting blocked in the third, the second, first chakra, or it's getting blocked in the lower part of the body. So what this means is your spirit is super excited about what's ready to happen, but your body is like, yeah, I'm not quite sure I'm ready for that. So let's do a meditation to help dump and release out that lower body. And then we're going to bring that light all the way down to your feet and your grounding. Okay. Are you all ready for this? So let's go ahead. Close your eyes, turn within. Oh my goodness. You all are so excited. You can barely sit still. All right. So just the first thing we're going to do is, your spirit is super excited. So let your spirit guide you by either feeling or sensing or knowing this grounded impression that you want to work with. Lately, I've been working with silk cloth as a grounding. But last week it was rainbow fish. The week before that, it was horses. The week before that, it was crystals. So whatever comes to mind, it can be a tree with deep roots. It could be a volcano. Go ahead, let yourself know what type of grounding will help bring that blue light past your diaphragm and down into the lower part of your body. Without grounding, your spirit would just be flying around everywhere. And remember, your purpose is to anchor your light into the earth. That's your purpose, to anchor your light. So now go ahead and imagine that grounding going through the seat of the chair or the bed or the floor, or maybe you're sitting in your car, and allow that wonderful, playful, imaginary image of yours go all the way down through the earth's crust to the center of the earth, and then tune into that mighty, powerful force of you and just really anchor it into the magnetic core. You all, your light is so bright that I can see many of you are like, wow, my grounding feels different. Can I ground? So just be very intentional that you are anchored into the center of the earth. I can see that your grounding's going down, but I can see that your frequency is so high that for many of you, you might be struggling. So let's try something else. Set your intention that if you're carrying heavy suitcases in the lower part of your body from the diaphragm down, you're going to drop those heavy suitcases down your grounding. Now, if you have a hard time letting go, you can put the suitcases off to the side and go through them later. But I'm telling you, the frequency is going to go so high in the next few weeks. You just might want to drop all that heavy lifting. So let's just pretend we're dropping a lot of the heaviness out of our survival chakra, our emotional chakra, and our power chakra, where we may have blocked energy that disempowers us or suppresses us. So you're going to just dump all that down your grounding. Wow, it's amazing. It's almost vaporizing as fast as it releases. If you have those heavy weighted dense energies in your heart chakra, drop it down your grounding. In your communication chakra in the throat, drop it down your grounding. If you have any in your head, drop it down your grounding. If you have any blocked energy in your spiritual layer above your head, drop it down your grounding. All those heavy, old, outdated weights of your life can just drop right down your grounding. All right. So we're going to go ahead because there's a lot that's blocked above in the crown chakra. I can see as I'm looking out there, it's really getting illuminated. So go ahead and invite the metamorphic, transformational, cosmic light that's coming in to help uplift our consciousness. So I see that as a color blue with silver and gold sparkles, but you may even see it as orange. So please don't second guess yourself and go ahead and allow it to flow all the way down into the room where you are and let it just swirl around your crown chakra. That's the spiritual chakra. So you can have old religious past lives that are stuck there. You can have current religious experiences that are stuck there. You can have other people's energy that's stuck there. But here's the beauty, you don't even need to know. It does not matter. That light is going to dissolve it. So let it dissolve it now, and then let the light, the plasma, the flow, it's a liquid light. Let it flow all the way down through your body and ask it to help you to dissolve everything that it's just time. It's time for it to be gone. Stay focused on the light. It might feel slippery or oily. It might feel like tar. It may feel like sand, but whatever it is that's dissolving, it's going to drain right down the grounding to be recycled by Mother Earth. Remind yourself of how old you are, what your current age is. That's very important because sometimes these old stuck energies or triggers can be from when you were in your early 20s or maybe you were 10 years old. Keep reminding yourself, nope, this is my current age. I've got years of wisdom. And remind yourself of today's date, so that you move out of the past, you move out of the future, and you are right here in this present moment. And that will help the energy to dissolve quicker. Fantastic. It's really starting to drain off the head now. I've got one last little meditation trick up my sleeve. Works like a charm. Easy. Anybody can do it. Open your heart. If your heart's closed, you have a lot of judgment about what you're letting go of. But when you open your heart, it's like, okay, it is what it is. It was what it was, but I'm not carrying it forward through this portal with me. I'm leaving it. And you can love it for whatever it was, for whatever it taught you. But when you open the heart, it's easier for some reason for your body to let go of what you're ready to let go of. One more big release. So just take in one nice deep breath and just let it just another big release, and then let that plasma liquid light move past your diaphragm, move right into your navel area, your hips, your solar plexus chakra, down your legs, and then just let that beautiful liquid light flow right down to the center of the earth. Mother Earth has taken our stuff, so we'll just share a little bit of a elixir. An elixir chaser. That's a good start. Beautiful. Thank your body for its willingness to let go, because we know our bodies don't always have an easy time with that. Thank your spirit for all the ways that your spirit guides you in life, whether you are conscious of it or not. Thank everyone who was on this live event today, who asked questions, and everyone who will be watching the replay. And thank all of humanity in the world, because no matter how they're misbehaving on earth, their soul is still reaching for that higher bar every single time. So when you're ready, go ahead, open your eyes, look around, make sure you drink lots of water today, and put in the comments section if you feel like you're back, what that meditation experience was like for you. And I'm just going to finish up with one last statement that I think is really valuable for us all. Cynthia Raven said, "I'm trying so hard to be prepared for the new frequencies. But I'm really busy and I'm really preoccupied a lot. How do I tune in so that I will benefit from the frequencies that are available?" So it's a great question, Cynthia, and I think a lot of you will probably want to know everything's already in place. Everything's already in play. There is nothing you can do now that is going to change the trajectory of your awakening. So even if you're busy, but I remember when I was talking to Pam Gregory and she said, why would we waste a drop of this moment? And that I want everybody to think about. Why? What is so important in your life that you would just not even take like 2 minutes to, like, the Creator is good. It's just like the divine is good. The world room up in the akashic records is good, with so many people watching out for us. It's like we can take that. Probably took me 15 seconds. So what is it that's so important in your life that you just can't take in every little drop? It's already happening. But you can also reserve time for the equinox event and the 29th event as well, because it's going to help you to even enjoy it and maybe integrate your understanding more. So there we go. That was fun. We'll do that again. So if you did enjoy the Ask Me Anything, let me know if you would like me to offer it again. It was just kind of a last minute request from Spirit. And I said yes. So thank you all again for hopping on. I look forward to seeing all of you, many of you, at the equinox event. And we're going to be talking more next week about more of the light coming in. So I'm excited. All right. Take care, everyone. I so loved working with you all this morning.